inevitably, when you're a collector or a shopper, there will be things that you regret purchasing and things that you regret you didn't purchase. If you're new here, my name is Laura. I do videos mainly on luxury handbags, occasionally shopping, and some other topics like that. So if you like videos like that, make sure to subscribe to my channel and stick around for this video. So today I'm going to be talking about the bags that I wish I would have bought when I had the opportunity. And for me, not buying a bag never is really a regret, so to speak. For me, if I don't buy something, it's always a win for my bank account. It's money that I didn't spend, it's money that I saved instead. But there are certain bags that I do think about and I wish I would have bought them when I had the chance. The very first bag I regret not buying is actually a bag that I do own, and it is the Chanel Classic Flap. Now, I've always wanted a Chanel Classic Flap, and when I was first thinking about buying this bag, maybe like around 2012, it was a lot cheaper than it is today. If I find the 2012 price, I'll put it up on the screen, but really this was the time that I started working and I really had a love for these bags for a long time. Ultimately though, at the time, I chose to spend my money doing other things like traveling, which for me was a very high priority on my bucket list. There were a lot of places that I traveled to that I'm so grateful to have been able to travel to, and for that reason I held off on buying the Classic Flap. So it's not a total regret. And I did manage to buy the Classic Flap at a much better price than what it is today, almost $4,000 less. So I am happy about that. But you know, I think hindsight's 2020. When I was looking at originally buying that bag, I didn't really take into account the price increases. I didn't think they would be so extreme. And at the time, I wasn't so knowledgeable about bags and investing in them and all of that stuff. So I held off, and I kind of wish that I didn't, but it's not a total regret that I did. The second bag that I regret not buying when I could was the Caviar Diana. Now, a few years ago, these exploded in popularity, but before then, you could find them at really good prices. Right now, you can find the lambskin ones at better prices than the caviar, and the caviar ones are harder to find and a lot more expensive. I do really like this bag. I think it's gorgeous. I wish Chanel would bring it back. I know that they have in the past, but I wish they would bring it back again, and in caviar specifically. I would love like a beige or a white, and if I were to get a black one, I really like the silk ones. I don't know if they're silk or satin, but I do like that version of the Diana, and I think the chain is beautiful. These are very hard to find as well. So I kind of regret not buying the Diana bag when I could. I had seen the black satin one and I had an opportunity to buy it. I ended up getting something else. I still think about it, and maybe one day I will add one of these bags into my collection. But the regret that I do have over this bag is that I didn't buy it before it got so popular again and the price skyrocketed. The third bag that I regret not getting when I could, and this is another Chanel bag. Most of the bags on this list are Chanel with one exception, and it's going to be a Chanel quilted clutch. It looks very much like the Classic Flap. If I can find a picture of it, I'll pop it on the screen. I know Fashionphile has like an east-west version of it, and the one that I like is just like the regular dimensions. You can also get this clutch with a chain. There have been variations that come with a chain and others that come without a chain, and the one with the chain is a really good alternative to a Classic Flap. It's usually a lot less expensive than a Classic Flap would be, but you still get the same look. Now, of course, it's not going to have the same capacity, but it does work as a shoulder bag, and again, you get that classic Chanel look with this bag. So if that's something that you're looking for and you don't really care to specifically have a Classic Flap, this one is a good one to keep an eye out for. A couple of years ago, maybe in 2020 or 2019, I did see the version without the chain, and I know that it was in black, and I want to say maybe in burgundy or beige. I don't remember because I was like specifically focused on the black one. I ended up buying something else at the time, and I figured I could maybe come back for it, and that's always a bad idea with Chanel because Chanel things, usually they're not there when you come back. They sell pretty quickly. They don't have the same things over and over again, and I haven't seen those clutches since in the boutique. But if I were to come across one again, I would definitely want to get it because I think it's such a timeless clutch and it's something that I could see myself using a lot. Now the last bag, or I should say bags, it's really more of a category and it's more of an honorable mention. It's not a total regret because I have had my reservations over these kinds of bags. And I did see two versions of this kind of bag that I really did like, and they're wicker bags. Now I've always wanted to add a wicker bag to my collection, but when it comes to like these designer price points for wicker bags, they are so expensive, and if it breaks, there's not really any way of fixing it. So that has been the one thing that's really held me back. Now the first one that I really like and have always mulled over buying every time it comes out is going to be the Prada wicker bag, specifically with the white trim. This came out last summer. It came out the summer before. I really was contemplating getting this bag, and then when I kind of decided to pull the trigger on the bag, it had sold out, and so I kind of took that as my sign of it's best that I didn't get it. It wasn't meant to be. And I do still think about that bag. I do look on pre-loved websites just in case I spot one at a good price. I do still hold the same reservations. That was also the reason why I didn't get this other Chanel bag, which I regret not getting because it sells for so much on the pre-loved market, and it's going to be the filigree wicker bag from Chanel, or the lunchbox bag. I liked it specifically in the gold trim. I've seen it in white trim, I've seen it in black, but I just like how the gold kind of blends in with the straw of the bag. I think it's so gorgeous, and I've been wanting a wicker bag for such a long time, but again, as I was mentioning, I really do have those reservations of it breaking. I've heard of people's bags just like breaking very easily, and why wouldn't it? It's straw. So I can't imagine spending all that money and having it break. Imagine getting the Hermes version, the picnic bag, and just it breaking. So I'm very much on the fence about these bags. I kind of still think about them all the time, especially with summer coming up. I love how they look. The one thing also that holds me back from these bags is they're very like inconvenient for trips. You know what I mean? Like you can't really pack this bag. You have to be really careful, I think, when you're traveling with it. I would just be like worried about it. And so I do still want to add a wicker bag. I think I may add a wicker bag at a lower price point, like this one from Polen. So I don't know. It's as I said, it's not a total regret. It's an honorable mention, and I think at some point I will add the wicker bag, but we'll see. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this video. It was a short and sweet one for today. Let me know in the comments below if there is a bag that you regret not buying, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed today's video and you enjoy luxury topics. I will leave a few videos for you to watch in case you're not done with my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.